think this is the most challenging thing in ABM when you are doing running ABM activities for a company. How do you measure it? You need so many touch points and different marketing initiatives. So how do you know if it's more effective?
So ultimately, my team is being measured on the number of qualified leads that we bring in per specific customer, the number of opportunities being open, and the opportunities that are closed won. I mean, the dollar value of opportunity closed won, and we do that for specific targets, for specific accounts. So we have our overall company targets, and we have the list of target accounts, of strategic accounts, that I'm supposed to be touching all of them by the end of the year. We're not measuring touch points. We only care about the bottom line. I'm being measured on the dollar volume, I mean the number of the booking that is generated by the end of the year.
I can tell you the typical analytic points, again, change a little bit when you do ABM. You start measuring, for instance, things like meeting set. Okay? Obviously, to get to those meetings, you want to have website visits, you want to have email opens. You still look at those things. But the first real parameter, in many cases, is a meeting and not a lead. You have leads, that's good. That's part of the process, right? You need people's emails. It helps. But what you care about are meetings, for instance. Open opportunities, obviously. When you do cross-sell, it's not that different because typically it's either you're selling to a different business unit within the same organization, right? Or you're selling to the same people a different product. So Marketo, for instance, I sold the core platform to you, and now I want to sell you predictive content. So we map out which customers would typically like predictive content. We understand if it's the same buyer or a different buyer, maybe someone more oriented to the website, whatever. And then we start measuring how much engagement we're able to generate for these accounts with regards to predictive content and how many meetings or demos or calls or whatever the actual, true kind of interaction is.
So the question was, what tools and tactics are we using for account-based marketing and separate between existing customers versus prospects? So as Rafi said, the tools are essentially the same tools. The difference is in the targeting, is in this great segmentation that we're doing. It's everything. For existing customer, I'm doing user groups. So we have regional user groups in different states in the US where we gather customers together to talk about how they're using Kaltura. And this is the best sales strategy, by the way. When a happy customer is talking about how he's selling your solution, it immediately get other customers to say, hey, I want this, I want that. How come we're not doing this? So for existing customer, we have user groups. We have those switch to Kaltura campaigns that we're doing because we know them. I mean, for existing customer, you have a lot more information about them. You know the people, you have the relationship, you know what technology they're using. So it's easier to get this intel that allows you to create this tailored content and those tailored campaign. For prospect, it's a little bit different. When it comes to prospecting, we usually go by industry and by department and by company size. So for example, I would do a campaign for insurance companies, for HR department within insurance companies that are bigger that have more than 20,000 employees, for example. Sorry? We have a Marketo shop. So, and again, I would use all the tools available. I would use email blasts, and I would do webinars, and I would do digital, and I would go after them on LinkedIn, and I would.
I'll just add a few more examples on that. So first, Mike mentioned it earlier. High-touch, face-to-face activities with your target accounts used to be treated as old-fashioned marketing. We see huge value for that. It can be hospitality events. It works. It works, and it's worth the investment. This is one. Second, from a digital perspective, we use a lot content syndication activities. We use Medicine Logic to target specific segments of customers. And in that sense, we know their profile, their characteristics, so they bring us the right leads and the right people we need to engage with, and it also shows a lot of value. Last but not least, with regards to the face-to-face meetings, I think that when you move to account level measurement and not lead level measurement, and let's say our guys in UK want to run a user event we can tell them based on the account scores for accounts in the UK, here are the 15 that you must invite, instead of just sending an email to the entire community and say, come to our event. We want to make sure that those 15 who are the accounts with the highest account level score in the region are invited and join the event.
One more thing to add is events. This is one of our most successful tools. And lately we have been sponsoring smaller events, one that have about 100 participants. And this is, again, part of this targeted approach. I mean, you see what companies or what job functions are enrolling to those events. And you come and you go specifically with a bank matarot, with a list of companies that you know that you want to engage in these events. And you get a lot more traction versus those huge events where you just get lost in the crowd.